So 7 years ago, I was working with a patient who had chronic bloating, urinary tract infections chronically, fluid retention. This was getting wane, but finally she ended up having full body hives, all the while following a paleo, also known as at that time, particular food routine was called Whole30, which I think is a viable food routine. And she was so compliant. And in the midst of all this, actually, she also developed hypothyroidism. So she started on some thyroid medications, which helped a little bit. And did I mention she's super compliant? So compliant with her food routine and everything I was asking her to do. But she just was not getting well. So we said, you know what? Let's go full steam. Let's put you on a carnivore routine. Let's eat meat and fish for 30 days and just see what happens. You may have already guessed what happened, but after 30 days, she was feeling amazing. She'd even dropped 8 pounds in 30 days. Literally just inflammation leaving her body. No more bloating. And 30 days, we slowly started adding in some fruit. She loved chocolate. She loved peanut butter. So it was probably about 6 months worth. We ended up adding in those two and she was doing fine. And eventually for the next year, we titrated her off her thyroid medication. She had no UTIs during that time frame. And she could start eating almost all manner of whole foods with no issues, no digestive irritation, no gas, no bloating, no feeling like she was 10 months pregnant, 9 months pregnant, right? But she was so bloated, she felt like she was 10 months pregnant. And she lost that 10 pounds that she had since she'd had her third child. This 35-year-old woman literally unlocked health opportunity for so many of my patients. And then another 50-year-old woman, she's on 3 acid blockers, and she continued to have breakthrough acid reflux. And she had to get regular endoscopes because they were afraid she was going to develop Barrett's esophagus. And she came to my clinic convinced that this is just her lot in life. I convinced her to do the 30 days of the carnivore routine. And 30 days later, she was down to 1 acid blocker and she was not having any acid reflux. So we added some fruit, avocados, cucumbers, olives. We eventually added in squash, zucchini. And after about 3 years, she completely got off all acid blockers. No acid blockers, no acid reflux, nothing showing up in her endoscope looking beautiful. She had been on acid blockers, aka nutrition blocking drugs, for over 20 years. Isn't that crazy? Now she's completely off, good to go. I give you those 2 stories where people are eating amazing food, say following a Whole30-ish kind of routine, and still not getting their health where they want to get to. If you're sick, do not allow yourself to be held back by personal opinions, by politics, by financial institutions that may not have your health interests in mind. They have power, may have money as a North Star. For as long as I can remember, we've been told that meat is a problem and that ultra-processed vegan food items miraculously somehow have more nutritional value for us. Of course, we now know, I hope most people understand, I know a lot don't still, but that this is a lie and it has devoured so many people's health, I would say probably generations now of human health, because of this lie being perpetuated. But even beyond the veganism religion, it seems that for some people experiencing significant health distress, that even dairy, whole grains, and vegetables can be a barrier as they aim to get back to health homeostasis. So this isn't these foods are bad for us and these foods are good for us. They're all whole foods, but some whole foods do indeed make it more challenging for some people to get back to the space they want to get to, which is full-on vitality, vigor, and health promotion. So I'm going to share a couple of reasons why I think that consumption of meat and seed-bearing foods and the elimination altogether for a short time of foods that are not in that category could in fact help a lot of people get to the finish line. And I've seen it happen so many times in my clinic that I know it's a possibility. So the first thing would be you're literally eliminating anti-nutrient foods. Plants contain compounds like oxalates, lectins, phytates, which can bind minerals, irritate the gut, and even trigger immune responses in sensitive individuals. Whereas the carnivorish routine I was suggesting removes these entirely and potentially resolves the issue that persists even when a person's following, say, a Whole30 or paleo-like plan. Secondly, there's gut healing that can take place. For those with leaky gut, with irritable bowel syndrome, with small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, SIBO, the absence of these fermentable carbohydrates or FODMAPs on a carnivorous routine might reduce gut irritation more effectively than the paleo vegetable inclusion would. Third, there is, the allergy or the autoimmune triggers, and we're deleting them. So some plant foods, even paleo ones with approved like nightshade families, can provoke inflammation and an immune reaction. The carnivorous routine simply sidesteps those risks as the foods being consumed are essentially 100% digestible. And fourth, there is the metabolic factors. We talk about individuals with insulin resistance, with high blood sugar, with difficulty controlling appetite. They find that cravings, appetite regulation, satiety, blood sugar, all move in the positive direction and in a beneficial direction when eating this manner. I've seen triglycerides drop from 2,000 to 150 doing this. I've seen so many individuals stuck when it comes to body composition, all of a sudden having amazing results by holding this line with this routine. The fifth one is simplicity. This might be my favorite. It's so simple. We live in a world of decision overload. We don't need to consume 20 different foods every single day to enjoy robust health. We can drastically decrease meal stress by simplifying our food choices and just sticking to whole, ultra digestible foods until we're feeling amazing, have all this excess energy and vigor, and then broaden it out. So if you have an area of your health that is not responding to your current food routine, I would love to hear how you do if you indeed give this type of routine a go. And remember, this is for educational purposes only, not medical advice. All right, so maybe this food routine is the one that makes a huge difference in your health story, but do not down a food routine that has transformed countless other people's lives until you have at least given it a try yourself. And then you can figure it out. You are another N of one. You are a study to yourself. I'm a study to myself. Every patient is a study to themselves. For more health accumulation opportunities, please see the link below in the description. And I hope you guys and gals are going for it. Do not accept feeling okay, feeling decent. I would just keep going for it until you experience life-altering awesomeness in your health story. Talk to you guys and gals later.